This is Spartan125, back for yet another great reaction. Okay. This is the complete Five Nights at Freddy's timeline. The leaderboard. I buy the leaderboard. This has been sitting in my file for a while now. I keep meaning to do it. I don't know, creepy stuff sometimes gets to me, Especially Five Nights at Freddy's. I have memories of playing this game just scaring the crap out of me. It's just the jump scares. Right? It's not scary in the sense. It is creepy when you're playing it and everything's just silent. Just the hum of the machines and stuff. Fan and all that. But it's the jump scares. Yeah? The jump scares are just okay. They're gonna hopefully no jump scares in this one. It's just I think them explaining everything that's happened, and yeah, it'll be interesting, I'm sure. So I just want to remind you that if you haven't subscribed, please do so, and like the video. If you like it, obviously. But I do have a second channel called Royal Spartan Take 2, where I do movie and anime reactions, and I want to check it out. May suggest some stuff here and there. Yeah, let's jump in.
Hello? Well, if you're hearing this, you know that we're headed back into a magical place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life.
That's right. We're diving into the horrifying and extremely complicated, some may say unnecessarily complicated, timeline of Five Nights at Freddy's. By the end of this video, you should be ready to tackle Help Wanted. As a disclaimer, I want to mention that these are all theories drawn from the game theorists and other FNAF theorists out there. Also, these are the most likely dates based on the years given in Phone Guy's many voicemails over the series. Some people claim that the series starts closer to 1972 rather than the late 70s or even 1982, but the only two confirmed dates in the games are the Bite of 83 and the Bite of 87. So I'm working off of those dates. I've organized this by major chronological event. A store opens, a store closes, a slew of children die, whatever. In each event, I'll talk about how that event affected the animatronics, what, if any, remnant is involved, if there was any effect on the Fazbear Company, and whether the event affected the unfortunate Afton family at all. Also, I believe the only FNAF books I'm including in this timeline are The Fourth Closet and the Survival Log book, and even then, very loosely. Cool? Cool. Let's begin in 1982 with the first 5 victims. The earliest concrete date in this game is 1983, but a lot happens before the fateful Bite of 83. So my guess is that Henry and William Afton became business partners sometime in the late 70s and early 80s, and then opened Fredbear's Family Diner soon after. Following the success of the first location, which was incident-free until the fateful Bite of 83, William and Henry opened several additional locations in rapid succession in 1982 and 83. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Circus Baby's Pizza, and later, a second Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location. That's the sister location that Phone Guy mentions in FNAF 3.
Okay, yes, this is a lot of information. It's gonna be complicated. Yeah, okay. Well, let's just keep going and see where we end up.
That's the sister location that Phone Guy mentions in FNAF 3, which MatPat theorizes is also the location called Juniors, from the Midnight Motorist minigame in FNAF 6. I trust MatPat and his super in-depth analysis of FNAF, so we're just gonna go with that theory too. Plus, it just makes this discussion a lot easier. So by the end of 1983, the Fazbear Company has 4 locations open and active, but nothing wild happens in 1982. Oh yeah, except for the missing children incident at the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Okay, missing children is kind of a big thing, At least I would think so, anyway. Okay.
The first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. We know from the Take Cake minigame and basic FNAF lore that Purple Guy / William Afton is the one responsible for the missing children. His first victim is Susie. Wearing the Spring Bonnie Springlock suit, William convinces her to follow him with the promise that he can show her where her dog is. Then, he offs her and shoves her in the Chica suit. We know Susie goes first because of Chica's lines in Ultimate Custom Night, some telling passages in the Fourth Closet, and the Fruity Maze minigame in FNAF 6. So that leaves 4 other missing children for William to gut. 3 of these children were named Gabriel, Fritz, and Jeremy. But we don't know which order they were killed in, only that they weren't the first. These children were, ostensibly, stuffed into Freddy, Foxy, and Bonnie, respectively. And then there's Golden Freddy. Thanks to MatPat and Reddit user DPowerful1, we know that the spirit inhabiting the slumped-over Golden Freddy suit belongs to a girl named Cassidy. Cassidy may not have been William Afton's first victim, but she becomes the infamous one you should not have killed because of her undying thirst for vengeance. In fact, we're led to believe that she's the one responsible for creating the hellscape William has to endure in Ultimate Custom Night. In 1983, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza closes, which makes sense seeing as a bunch of children disappeared. Though apparently it's because of a generally unsettling feeling as opposed to any legal action or police involvement. Huh. Don't worry, that's coming down the pipeline. It's all good for the Fazbear Company though, because they've still got Fredbear's Family Diner and Circus Baby's Pizza. They also decided to open a second, larger Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Junior's, just around the corner from our dear murderous William's house. Now at this point, the exact order of events gets a little mathy. There's a lot of differing opinions out there, but I'm generally sticking with the MatPat timeline, which posits that the next Fazbear fatality happens at Circus Baby's Pizza. And that death is the murder of Elizabeth Afton. So Circus Baby's Pizza opens, complete with the circus-inspired animatronics Ballora, BB, Balloon Boy, and Circus Baby herself. They all dial FNAF's overall creep factor right on up to 11. By this time, we all know that William Afton is a murderous jerk. He's responsible for the deaths of 5 children, and for imbuing 5 already horrifying animatronics with perpetual torturous undeadness. But for once, William didn't mean to kill a kid. And that's because the kid who dies at Circus Baby's Pizza is his own daughter, Elizabeth Afton.
I know it's gonna sound horrible, but it seems kind of fitting at the same time. Right? I mean, if you're willing to kill other people's kids, it's only fair. Yours has to go too. Terrible, but still.
And that's because the kid who dies at Circus Baby's Pizza is his own daughter, Elizabeth Afton. She's excited to see what Circus Baby can do. Machine-made ice cream, anyone? So she sneaks onto the stage with the animatronic, who goes into Child Killer 3000 mode and yoinks little Elizabeth right into her open stomach cavity, because FNAF is the least messed up game series in existence. The store closes, and William freaks out a little bit, understandably. So according to William, kids can and should die, just as long as they're not one of his own kids. Later in 1983 comes Michael Afton's torture. So Will takes all of the Circus Baby's Pizza robots and literally buries them underground where sister location takes place. More on that later. He also thinks to himself, what better way to keep my son Michael safe than by ruining his life with nightmarish visions of the animatronics? Some theorize that William brainwashes his kid this way because Michael's favorite place is the newly opened Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, aka Junior's, just up the road. These theories are based off the idea that Michael Afton is the victim of the bite of 83, so I'll run with that too. Admittedly, this theory gets a little squirrely, especially when you consider that the bite victim of 83 has an older brother, and William Afton is supposed to only have 2 children. Maybe, like YouTuber Andy Matronic, you read into the vampire TV show from sister location and you consider Mike Schmidt, the OG security guard from FNAF 1, to be William's much despised, possibly illegitimate older son. Like the Mangle theory, this is super cool in concept and definitely deepens the FNAF lore. Unfortunately, it's too messy for us to get into here, so we're just going to assume that Michael Afton is the bite victim of 83, but has no older brother, even though the minigames insist that he does. Hey, even the best game designers contradict themselves. Hey, it happens. Long story short, Circus Baby's Pizza closes after Elizabeth Afton dies and possesses the Circus Baby animatronic. William begins torturing his remaining child, Michael Afton, so that he'll be too afraid of the animatronics to get anywhere near them and, die as a result.
I mean, I knew this would be messed up, but I had no idea. I had no idea how messed up this would be. It's just so weird and messed up and creepy.
the animatronics to get anywhere near them and, die as a result. While all of this is happening, Henry still has no idea that his partner is a serial killer, and worse, a terrible dad. Also, to protect his own daughter, Charlie, Henry adds upgraded security systems to the newly opened Freddy Fazbear's Pizza / Juniors in the form of the security puppet. The puppet is specifically designed to keep an eye on Charlie at all times, presumably because Henry doesn't want his daughter getting stomach chomped by any of the animatronics there. And yeah, there's still a child predator on the loose, so there's that. Which leads to the bite of 83 at Fredbear's Family Diner. You'd hope that after all of this, the Aftons could catch a break. Maybe? Do we really have sympathy for serial killers? I'm not sure. In any case, the Afton family is not having a good year, to say the least. Much to William's dismay, the nightmares and torture he's inflicting on Michael aren't keeping him from running to Junior's. They're definitely making him extremely afraid of Fredbear, though. At least Michael's still friends with the psychic stuffed animal Fredbear. Anyway, in a pretty sadistic move, William forces his son to have his birthday at Fredbear's Family Diner, and things go poorly. Michael gets shoved into Golden Fredbear's mouth and then crushed between his jaws. Happy birthday! You get the bite of 83. I hope you like it, Mikey.
What?
After that, he dies, but not before William, via psychic plush Fredbear, ominously assures Michael, "I will put you back together again."
So. Let me get this straight. The guests at his birthday party put him in the mouth of Freddy, and then he got crushed. Yeah, see, this is why I don't need birthday parties, yeah? No, I'm good. A Chinese and some beer? I'm good with that, yeah.
Ominously assures Michael, "I will put you back together again." Needless to say, Fredbear's Family Diner closes down after the bite of 83, which makes Junior's the last operational Fazbear restaurant, for the time being at least. It seems to do okay, actually, despite some rough stuff that goes down later, but again, I'll get into that later. So after all of this family drama, William and Henry have a falling out. Even before Michael dies, William is all kinds of stressed out. His erratic behavior leads Henry to suspect that maybe William had something to do with the original missing children incident. You think, Henry? Wow, that's some great detective work. So Henry stops allowing William into Junior's. Now that I think of it, that might be the reason why William had Michael's birthday party at Fredbear's Family Diner instead, but I digress. After Michael dies, William is even more murdery than usual, and he decides to kidnap and kill Henry's daughter, Charlie, outside of Junior's. Charlie's spirit then goes on to possess the puppet, and she acts as a kind of protector to the other possessed animatronics. That would be very sweet of you, Charlie, but have you guys seen this puppet? It is beyond creepy. In the minigame Give Gifts, Give Life, we see her shepherding the lost spirits of the murdered children into the original Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica suits. Now between 1983 and 1987, we have the next 5 victims. Undeterred, William continues his killing spree by sneaking into Junior's dressed as a security guard. He gets into the Springlock Bonnie suit and kills 5 more children by luring them into the safe room and then stuffing them into the toy animatronics. That's why the animatronics freak out whenever they see someone in a security uniform, and why Mangle attacks the night guard, Jeremy Fitzgerald, in the bite of 87. Speaking of which, the bite of 87 is actually one of the only non-fatal animatronic-related attacks in Five Nights at Freddy's. According to Phone Guy's message in FNAF 1, the victim of the bite of 87, Jeremy Fitzgerald, had to have his frontal lobe removed. That definitely does not sound pleasant, but hey, at least he's still alive, just like Phineas Gage. Too bad that didn't keep Junior's from shuddering in the wake of the attack. Eventually, the only remaining Fazbear location closes. Then sometime in the late 1980s and early 1990s, we have the creation of Ennard and the Michael Afton AI. During the following years, William Afton is, up to no good. But at least he's not actively killing anybody, that we know of anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he probably is killing people. Just nobody knows about it, yeah? People like that, they don't just stop, yeah? They have a need. Yeah, so he's maybe doing it in a different way, than what he's been doing it before. While he's preparing something else. I don't know.
But at least he's not actively killing anybody, that we know of anyway. He returns to the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which is now boarded up, leaking, and overrun with vermin. All of the original haunted animatronics are still there though. Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica. Williams come back in order to destroy the original animatronics. We can assume that he has now seen how his daughter's soul is trapped in Circus Baby, and how Charlie's soul is trapped in the puppet. Now, he wants to experiment with giving life to the animatronics instead of just, murdering kids for the heck of it. And so, William melts down their endoskeletons and creates Ennard, but in doing so, he also creates Remnant, the spiritual material of the children, which gives the animatronic suits eternal, if not totally scary, life. Using the orange, glowy Remnant, William creates Funtime Foxy, Funtime Freddy, and Funtime Chica. Remnant also keeps the original 5 souls from ascending out of the animatronics. Because their souls are all, tangled up, the only way to escape the suits for good is to make sure all of the suits containing Remnant are burned up entirely. William also fully intends to make good on his promise to Michael, putting him back together again, so he rebuilds his son as an AI. Only Michael is not aware that he's a robot now. What could possibly go wrong? In 1992, William Afton dies and becomes Springtrap. This next bit doesn't quite align with the Remnant combining situation, but there's plenty of evidence to support it, so I'm just gonna plow ahead. The original 5 souls from the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza become free of their animatronic prisons. They chase William Afton into the safe room, leaving him with no choice but to get into the Spring Bonnie suit. The suit then malfunctions and kills him, leaving his soul to possess the Spring Bonnie suit and become Springtrap. Henry then finds the mess and walls off the safe room, not to be opened for another 30 years or so. I know there are theories out there that William is, somehow still alive when he becomes Springtrap, but I don't buy it. I don't think anyone, paranormal or not, would survive 30-ish years walled up in a safe room. So while William is a little, occupied, in 1993, Michael Afton returns to Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals to save Elizabeth, his sister, on instruction from his dad. I guess that when William created the Michael Afton AI, he programmed a mission into his brain to go and rescue his sister, Elizabeth. She's still trapped in the Circus Baby animatronic playground.
Okay, it's official. Things are getting really weird now. Going to rescue the soul of your sister that's trapped in a animatronic, whatchamacallit. Yeah, things are definitely getting weird. I'm a little bit confused, but no, I get the gist of it. Murderer wanting to create animatronics to kill children because apparently he wants to kill children, but not his own children. But his own children end up getting killed by the very animatronics that he makes. Yeah. Who could have seen that one coming, yeah? So now he's rebuilt his son, a new body, android kind of body, and son doesn't know he's an android. And is now going to apparently rescue his sister's soul that's trapped. Yeah, okay. Got it.
She's still trapped in the Circus Baby animatronic playground. William has been walled off as Springtrap for the past year or so. He must have programmed Michael to save Elizabeth from the get-go. I don't really know how we would have gotten the message to Michael otherwise. But whatever, continuity aside, what matters is that the message was received. Michael's on his way to get his sister, and we get the terrifying joy of playing as Michael while Circus Baby and Ennard lead him into the scooping room. He gets scooped. It's stressful as hell, and at the end of the game, Michael looks into a mirror and sees his eyes are glowing bright purple. They're clearly Ennard or Circus Baby's eyes, but it doesn't really matter who they are because they're both hitching a ride on the Michael train out of the sister location. If you play both nights and complete all modes, you're rewarded with a series of 8-bit cutscenes that show Michael Afton happily strutting out of sister location in increasingly distressing levels of decay. Finally, when he's shirtless and purple and nobody's around to notice him, Michael Afton curls over, vomits Ennard out into the sewer, then collapses. He seems dead, but then Circus Baby's voice fills the screen as she repeats, "You won't die. You won't die," over and over again. Sure enough, Purple Michael gets to his feet and walks off screen, as though he's just experienced a rough hangover instead of, full-on death. So then there's a bit of a time skip until we get to 2023, unearthing William's body and opening a new Fazbear attraction, Fazbear's Fright. The cycle of death has been over for 30 years, but then a bunch of horror fans and their loyal minion, Phone Dude, not to be confused with the venerable and presumed deceased Phone Guy, have to go and ruin everything. They unearth William Afton's body, aka Springtrap, from its walled-in lair in the OG Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It's 2023, so they decide, what the hell? Let's capitalize off those horrible Fazbear tragedies by turning the restaurant into a horror attraction called Fazbear's Fright.
Yeah. Gotta make that money, I suppose. I don't get it personally, but why would you do it? I suppose they think that the tragedies were just maybe accidents or something like that, yeah? And they're not actually, supernatural or anything like that there, so they just go, oh, we can make money off of this. So much time has passed. Nothing bad's gonna happen now. Okay.
to a horror attraction called Fazbear's Fright. Phone Dude's super psyched to have found Springtrap, probably because he doesn't realize exactly what he's unearthed, and you have to contend with Springtrap's horrors as the Night Watchman, yet again. Fazbear's Fright eventually burns down, but lucky us, Springtrap escapes. In 2023, Henry also builds Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Simulator to lure any remaining animatronics to the building and destroy them, erasing any history of the Freddy Fazbear Company. Probably for insurance reasons because he's a capitalist dick, but whatever. So where's Henry after all this time? For a while, it just seemed like he was like, hey, cool, my murderous ex-business partner is dead in a rabbit suit, I'll just wall that up and forget about it. But naturally, he's been building a fake Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location to lure in haunted animatronics and burn them down, freeing the trapped souls. And yeah, that's basically what happens. Everything burns. Except that in a cutscene accessed only by beating the Saturday night shift in FNAF 6, you hear Michael's voice saying to his father, I'll find you. Well, good luck, Mikey boy, because turns out William Afton is in hell. Yep, your dad's in hell, right where we thought you'd end up. Cassidy, the one you shouldn't have killed, has created a perpetual hell, or purgatory depending on how lenient you'd like your serial killer's punishment to be, for William Afton, her murderer. She's the only remaining spirit in the suits, having been unable to get up and stroll on over to the pizzeria simulator like her comrades. She's stuck in a Springlock suit without a body to control. But the look in her eyes at the ending Ultimate Custom Night makes it seem like she's quite happy torturing William Afton for eternity. Congrats, you made it to the end of the video. You'll probably be back in another year when the next 6 sequels have come out. I'm actually pretty good at the FNAF games. I swear.
Okay.
I've been Marcus.
Okay, that is the end of the video. Yeah, that was complicated as hell. But I got it. I got most of it. Yeah. Okay. Don't need to play the games anymore because now I know the story. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. That was really messed up in a way that I can't even put into words. Who comes up with this stuff? Obviously, I know it's not real, but still, God. It's messed up. Okay. Hope you liked the reaction. Let me know what you thought of the video too in the comment section. And I just want to say, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like the video too if you like what you saw. And remember that I do have a second channel called Wild Spartan Take 2. I do movie and anime reactions. You might want to check that out too if you like reactions. And subscribe over there too if you like what you see, because it really helps me out. And until next time, I am out of here.